Alright, welcome back to another exciting day in the realm sphere of Thondia. Hello there, my first favorite Bill. What we got cooking today? Something exciting?
Well, I happen to have gotten my hands on one of the incarnates.
Ooh.
Uh, Maybe a couple days before they actually release. So we're gonna be building this bad boy today.
Yeah, because they released this weekend, technically.
Yeah.
So I'm super jealous, but that's okay. And,
Sorry, man.
yeah, that's fine. What should I be doing is my night haunt, like my Arena of Shade stuff. But what I'm actually going to be doing is some Tyranid stuff, because we're also getting that book this weekend.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm painting the Zoanthropes because they're cool.
Oh, so
I
you do still have Tyranids though?
No, yes. Um,
What?
so like the short of it is I do, but it's not the same Tyranids. I ended
Oh,
up
okay.
selling that army
Interesting.
because I had like a medical bill come up and I panicked and I knew that Tyranids will sell quick and I sold them 15 minutes after I put the posting up for asking
Holy
value.
crap. Okay.
And then it just was so worth it for like having that off my mind.
Yeah.
And then once I calmed down and realized it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, I
hmm
was like, I didn't need to do that.
Oh,
So
I
I'm
gotcha.
going back. I'm doing a different paint scheme. I'm doing it smarter.
Yeah, there you go.
So I have some things done that I'm really happy to show off. I did the Tyranid Prime. Yeah, I'll
Very
show it to you
nice.
in a second. But yeah, like if you remember the old scheme, this one's very different.
Yes, yes, I
And
do.
yeah, I'm really liking it.
Nice.
And I'm starting to do like sand bases, and I have like ideas that I want to try to do to put like infestation nodes and like eggs and stuff all over it. Make it gross.
There's something about sand bases that are just fantastic.
I
I don't know
was
what it is, but I
because
love
like
them.
my idea for this was like because the Tyranids go in and eat a planet till it's nothing left and then leave.
Yeah,
I
so it'd
thought
be
it'd
all
be
like, yeah,
dead. Yeah.
totally makes sense. Yep.
And then this is my old one eye that I did.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
this
proud of
seems
that.
looks real good.
Yeah. And then I have five warriors and a prime that are like 80% done somewhere.
Okay.
Um yeah, here's one of them. And if you notice they don't have arms, and it's because I fully magnetized all the weapon options.
Oh, very nice. That's
And
amazing.
yeah, and then I realized that 90% of the time I'm taking swords, but I'm just convincing myself I'm future proofing for a 10th edition.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And there's one more thing I wanted to shout out too is I found a guy on Etsy and he has his own like web store called Sippy's Corner. And one thing he makes is they're called Xenos Dragon bodies basically. And it's
Mhm.
just the Hive Tyrant resin 3D printed of just the torso.
Oh, cool.
So there's enough bits in the box to build two Hive Tyrants, except for there's only one torso. So for
So
like
he just.
$5, you buy the torso and you have two.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and then all of his profits go to his local humane society for animals and stuff.
Oh, damn. So
Yeah,
not
so
only do you get something for cheap, but he's also does something good with the money. Like
yeah,
what?
exactly right. Tippy's corners if anybody's curious. And
Yeah,
like I don't have it on hand, but like it's really good quality stuff too.
that's amazing.
Which yeah, so like there's absolutely no loss in there whatsoever. So I'm
hmm
excited. So with that realization, I'm probably not going to magnetize the Hive Tyrants because if it's so easy to get extras of them,
Right. Yeah.
like it's not worth it to me.
Magnetizing does take quite a bit of effort.
It does, yeah. And like when they're too big, like they start to like droop. Like the
Yes, they
Warriors are the
definitely
right
do.
side that they don't really do that, but anything like
Mhm.
any even slightly bigger does. So
Yeah,
like in
I found that
addition,
with some of my magnetization efforts where it's just like it droops so hard.
yeah. And my idea to fix that was to like cut a triangle into the base of like the ball pivot on the Tyranid arm, and then put a green stuff that's like a wedge, so it locks into the wedge.
Oh, cool.
And but that's like a ton of work.
Yeah.
So if I can avoid it, I'd rather.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like I'm looking on eBay and seeing if anybody's selling like Carfax bodies separately, and I found a bunch for like 20. So
Nice.
I'm just gonna get the extra bits that I have and just build full Carnivexes.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Sounds like you got
it's
a
an
good thing
exciting
going.
yeah, So like it turned into a very exciting project to me, and a very happy accident that I did that.
Yeah.
So that was the longest-winded explanation for that question. Do you still play Tyranids? Yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah, but it was all relevant, I swear.
yes, but 10-minute explanation.
Yeah,
Go.
but like it's cool, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's awesome.
yeah, and I'm just yeah, the book looks so cool and fun,
Good. That's
and
awesome.
the monster mass lists looked like very real,
Oh yeah.
which is what I wanted since day one.
I mean, I feel like that's what a lot of people like, kind of like
Yeah,
any army that can just be a bunch of monsters. It's like I feel like there's so many people that are just like, well, that's what I want. I just want a
yeah.
bunch of monsters.
Oh, of course. Yeah, and just I don't know. I just think the Tyranid stuff looks so cool. Like Hive Tyrants are like a little limited in the new books. You can only take like one per detachment.
Okay.
But like, come on, that thing's basically as close as you can get to a space dragon. Like,
Yes,
who doesn't want
it's so
that?
true.
Like the Maliceptors look cool. The Harpies look cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm just really excited. Oh, the Turbigon is like actually usable now in the new
That's
edition.
cool.
Yep. But yeah, there's just so much like depth to that book. Like I'm just so excited to play that and nothing else for a very long time.
You're putting the Necrons aside for a bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to them because I do love them more than some people love their favorite child.
Hmm.
But like competitively, they're very rough.
Oh, they're still rough.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
goodness.
just because they're like an older book at this rate, and like
That's
what?
crazy that they're an older book because I feel like they came out like less than a year ago.
Yeah, well,
Has
they
it
were
been
like
more
the
than a year?
first wave of books,
Yeah,
and then like power creep is a much bigger issue in 40K than it is in AOS.
fair enough.
Yeah, so like it's weird, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, it is an older book, but it's the oldest ninth edition book, and then the only thing we have left are like Knights and Chaos Space Marines in eighth edition.
Yeah. Chaos Space Marines. There's
Yep.
a there's a topic. Oh
Yeah, exactly.
wait, so hang on a second. Does that mean that 10th edition's coming soon?
Probably
That's when did ninth edition come out?
like 2 years ago.
Was it really that long ago?
Yeah, I think it was 2019.
God, I still think of it as like the new edition of 40K.
Yeah,
That's
or
crazy.
maybe it was 2020. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
I mean, I'd rather they just kept ninth edition because like ninth edition by itself is really cool,
Mhm.
but I think like they could stand to touch up like some of the books
Right.
and like just bring them in line and then stop power creeping.
Well, Space Marine time.
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah, because like I don't even think it's like super malicious what they're trying to do, and I
Mhm.
think a lot of onlookers would think that like, oh, it's just like trying to gouge people for money. I don't think it's that. I think they're
Mhm.
like trying to like push the envelope absolutely because I think overall the majority of people want a very killy game,
Right.
and they're trying to find out like what exactly is the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I know like yeah, oh fucking chill or whatever, but like I don't know. I'd rather they do something wrong and then fix it than never try.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I don't know. I
there's
feel like
multiple ways.
there's
Yeah,
some pretty obvious things that they could like tone back a little bit, though. You know?
yeah, yeah. Like there's definitely degrees of that.
Yeah. Because like if you want to kill your game, the answer isn't necessarily to just make like bigger, badder weapons, right? You could make saves a little worse,
Yeah.
but then again, no one ever wants to see something get worse. So
Mm-hmm.
even if it would balance it, so I guess that's the problem, right? No one ever wants to see a nerf to something.
Right.
You only want to see buffs, so
Mm-hmm.
you gotta give them buffs to make them excited, but
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
can't do the nerfs too hard, and yeah, that leads to power creep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just like there's definitely the degree of what was good in the last book is terrible in this book, and vice versa.
That
That
seems to
that
happen a
happens a
lot.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like
yeah,
that's definitely like a selling a kit that's been sitting in the warehouse for a while kind of
Oh
deal.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
over
yeah.
than like we think this is actually the best thing for the army. And, like I can't really fight that, but at
I'd
the
be willing.
same
I'd be
time,
willing to bet almost anything that they um that's exactly what they do.
yeah,
Where they're like, all right, looking at the sales numbers, this model isn't selling very well at all. So let's
hmm
uh let's give it a little extra bump in the new edition, make it exciting.
yeah, and like I don't think that's necessarily bad or malicious.
And they're a company, they're a business, right?
Yeah,
They want to make money and they want to sell their stuff.
but it's also like good for the people who are like, I really like this unit, and then they're like a
Yeah,
laughing stock,
yeah,
and like yeah, it makes it a lot easier pill to swallow to say like, look, like it sucks now, but I'll have it stay in the sun soon, you know.
right. Yeah,
If you
because you
like fucked
definitely
up a
because
purchase, you can
usually you can say that too, because
yeah.
it's like yeah, it'll get there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and they do pretty reliably do that too. So
Mm-hmm. Or like sometimes just the points are wrong or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, so I don't know if it's been officially released either yet, but I do have the White Dwarf that has the Cardron Overlord stuff in it.
Oh, I don't think that's officially out yet either. I never know the White Dwarf though.
Yeah, White Dwarf I think might come out on Wednesday, so that one might be real.
Okay. Well, I guess we could talk
Anyway,
about that a little too. Did you read it
yeah,
yet?
I I did read it. There's not much to read. Well, okay. I looked for anything big, and they got a new Admiral War Scroll. But unfortunately,
Oh,
well, okay.
weird.
To be fair, I looked at it about 15 minutes before the show started, so I haven't really been able to dive deep into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm. The core battalions are very specific to units, weirdly enough.
Oh, okay.
Like everything is like you need two frigates and two arcanauts for this. Or
Huh.
like yeah, it's very specific what you have to include for that one, which is kind of weird, but
Yeah.
not unprecedented.
So it's just like not. It's not a beast one. It's a very low bar one. You think overall?
Oh yeah, that's yeah, there's not much going on.
I'm
They
not
didn't
very
get a new army
surprised.
wide ability or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They got one updated war scroll, grand strategies, tactics, couple core battalions that are uninteresting at best, and
One
that's about it.
second on your tangent, if you don't mind. Is that a good color for the
Yeah.
brain? You think?
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Is
just
that
a patched
Volupus purple?
little bit pink, but yeah.
Pink. Yes. Yes, that is the color.
That's the one
I
that's
have
like,
it.
oh, it's nice and lavender. And then you realize it's like the best thing for like any flesh colored anything, also.
Oh yeah.
In
Yeah,
addition to being a
absolutely.
nice little like wonderful thing. Yeah, I use that one a lot more than
This bad boy.
the
There it
thing.
is.
Yeah.
Yes, I do too, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I'm gonna put like some lather and blue in there to make it all like warpy. I think that'll be nice and cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but yeah. So
No,
not an
no.
exciting book or Tom Celestial.
It didn't seem it.
Yeah,
No.
which is
I mean, the Arcanite might do something new and interesting. I didn't really get a chance to read it, so maybe that's something to take a look at.
yeah. I don't know the army like at all,
No,
to be
to be
honest.
fair, I've played like a couple games. I remember the Admiral being uninteresting for his points,
Mm-hmm.
but that's about all I remember. So, but we could
Yeah,
do a compare and contrast. Could be interesting.
yeah. Like the Beast one was like huge, and that was like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But some of these just aren't that.
No, this one for sure is not anything spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Like the two core battalions give like one gives expert and swift and the other one gives I don't know, magnificent maybe. It's like they didn't even like do new things there. So
That could be a good show one day too. Is a wish list of what we hope the next general handbook changes.
mm, yep.
Because yeah, battalions aren't quite where they need to be. I don't think, and I
Yeah.
think the
They're better, I think, still than the old ones.
like the War Scroll yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah,
yeah. Uninteresting at best, I think, for this one. Yeah, so one is uh requires two frigates, optional third, requires two Arcanaut companies, optional third, gives expert, which is the can receive all out attack or all defense without command being spent, and
Mm-hmm.
swift, which is at double or forward to victory. The other one is Grunstock. Two Grunstock gun haulers, required, optional third, optional ironclad, required Thunderer, optional frigate, three optional Sky Wardens, and you get Slayers. One can receive all out attack or unleash shell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay.
Do you think like those would be better if it was just like once per turn you can issue those commands for free instead of once per
Once per
game?
turn? That would be very powerful.
It would be, but like I'm
Would it be
still
too
not
powerful? I
I'm
don't
not
know.
convinced it's better than like one dropper either, but it would be like closer. Or if it like let you double issue it once per game.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying. That's
Yeah.
interesting thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
because
just
otherwise those are quite uninteresting
yeah, and
for
it's
the
not
most
even
part.
like it's weak, it's just weak and uninteresting.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like them to like do a little bit more. Like I
Yeah.
think they're in a, like the list building is like pretty strong right now.
Hmm.
But like it's just I feel like it's like do I want to be a one drop? Then I'm a one drop, and if not, I'm like hunters and warlord.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
just I'm
Like I've
not.
never been like well, I think the thing is like the ones that I would really want to use maybe once per game are the all out attack and all out defense one.
Mhm.
Because those are I think definitely the best overall.
Yeah.
And the ones I use the most. But those are like locked behind like you have to have monsters for it. And the number of monsters that aren't also heroes in this game are very small. And so like it's very
Yeah.
difficult to actually make that happen.
In addition, you are like extremely punished for bringing monsters that aren't heroes because of like they can't like issue orders to defend themselves and they can't like heroic recovery. And then
Right.
also you give them victory points for killing your
Right.
monsters. Yeah.
Yep. So like yeah, like it's just being locked behind that just sucks so bad.
Oh, terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. But like it's very close to being like a cool system. And like the bones are definitely there. And like I'm just not sure what incentive structures they want to pursue outside of like the one drop or the extra relic. I kind of think a free endless spell would be kind of cool if that was one of them.
Would be kind of cool. Yeah.
Because yeah, I think endless spells are like, especially the damage ones, are never worth it because
Right.
like they're points
Their
and
points, the fact that they can come back at you, the
yeah, and then damage is often less impactful than the buffs you give up to do it.
yeah, exactly. I've always wanted those to be good. And I thought like it's like, oh, maybe this edition they'll change them enough to make them worth it. And it looked like they might have, and then it was like, and then it was still like, do D3 damage. It's like, pass.
It was so
Do
close.
D3 damage the most difficult way imaginable is really what it is.
Yeah, it was like I hate shitting on them because I feel like in second edition we like read them and we're like, I can't possibly see a world where these are good, but I'm gonna try.
Yep.
And then we were instantly proven right. And then we read these and like these are like closer, but I think ultimately like the ones that are good are the utility ones,
Yes.
and then the ones that just do damage I think are extremely overcosted.
Yeah. They're generally just bad, unfortunately.
Yeah, and like
Like even the
maybe
one that we were like, we'll take this every time. It's like, well, actually, you never do.
yeah, and like what I didn't realize at the time of that review that I
Yep.
do now is that I would much rather just have the reroll charge triumph or whatever triumph.
Yep.
Like I don't think you get rid of triumphs, but I think that's a huge reason why endless spells aren't good. It's just because
Yeah.
like you don't pay for these triumphs and then they just work.
I mean, they might not work if your opponent,
Mhm.
also is trying to do the same thing.
Right.
And then you would have liked to fill those points with something,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah, who
Probably not
knows?
worth it.
You might reroll your charge into another 3 or something.
Yeah, it
It'll
still
work
might be
out. Yeah.
totally useless. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I never find that I have like enough spare spells in any like list except for maybe Flesh Eater Courts. Or I'm bringing
Right.
like the double like Arc Regent.
Yeah. Maybe with Nagash? Or do you just cast Arcane Bolts and be happy? Or do you already have an endless
Yeah.
spell you're casting with him?
Oh, the mirror.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it's not even worth it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's kind of funny actually because if you think about it, most of the endless spells don't like do D3 or like more than D3 damage.
Right.
So it's like it's not any different than an Arcane Bolt with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those like Quicksilver daggers like read so interesting, and then you saw their points, and you're like, oh, nope,
Yeah, right?
yeah.
I totally hear you on that.
You're like, oh, wards are going to be a huge thing in this edition, and like good that we have a tool to like help us that every army can use to cut through wards, and it
And then
does
it's
like
like 70
4 damage.
points or something.
It was 120, I think.
Is it 120?
It was something ridiculous.
Oh
Or
my word.
105. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
So,
well, that's useless.
yeah.
Thanks for that.
Mm-hmm. I just overvalued that entirely. Just
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we overvalued that. I feel like the points cost always felt prohibitive.
I yeah, I think the designers overvalued that. We didn't. I think
Yeah.
we put
Oh
that
yeah,
one
yeah.
very low on our list when we did
Yeah,
that.
I think we did.
I wish I still had that video somewhere because I think that was a good one.
Yep.
Even though I think we missed the mark on a couple of them.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we were pretty right about the Emerald Life Storm and the clock and the mirror and the bridge being good.
Yep.
And then I think we completely discredited Laukon the Soul Seeker. I think we gave him an F tier, but he's like actually okay in some armies.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like
It's
being
always
wrong.
nice when something goes from like bad to it's like, oh, actually, this is playable.
Yeah,
That direction's fun.
exactly. Yeah,
When something pleasantly surprises you. When something you think is going to be good, it just turns out to be trash. It's just like feels bads all around.
yeah. Mm-hmm. It's funny because we got people ran the Burning Head into Gash a lot when they played him in OCR. So you're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
hit himself and teleport himself and then be able to move after teleporting outside of 9.
Wait, how does burning? Wait, what?
So
How
there's
does
a
burning help?
spell
That
that
help?
the OCR have that
Yeah.
gives a unit a 5 of ward. But if they fail the ward, they are plucked off the board
Mm-hmm.
and then moved anywhere outside of 9 of enemies.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And you use the burning head to trigger that.
Yep.
Yeah, got it.
Mm-hmm. It's very cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. Is
Mm-hmm.
that not a thing anymore just because Nagash isn't really playable with them?
Yeah, Nagash just like the reason why it was like so good before is because wow, my Discord's going nuts. I don't know if you can hear that.
I cannot hear it
Yeah, I hope the
personally.
chat can't, but yeah, whatever.
Do you want me to check?
Eh, I think it's fine now. They stopped.
Okay.
Um, so like, yeah, Nagash like a 3-up save, ignoring the first bit of rend, rerolling ones to save, and a 6-up ward was insanely survivable. And now he's just a 3-up with none of the other things.
Nothing else.
He's squishy as hell now for like that many points.
Yeah.
So you can't really like anvil him anymore. So like you don't suicide bomb him anymore.
Mm-hmm. I suppose it's more like what they wanted, but they removed all the punch from him. And like didn't give him anything in return.
Yeah, I just wish he still had his ward. That's the only sad thing to me. Because I feel like army wide rerolling ones to hit and save in this edition is just Would you say it's the strongest command ability in the game to the point where it's like overpowered? It's definitely in the top three.
Well, just the fact that, well, well, here's the thing. Like for OC arc, it's not as good, right?
What do you mean?
Reroll hits of one and saves of one.
Yeah,
Well, so I get army wide, I suppose. Though you're saying, right?
yeah. It's army wide on an army that
Yeah,
can hit on threes or twos,
that's true.
and then like yeah, and like more tech
I was
card
thinking
already
that.
reroll saves, but like everything else rerolling ones with reducing run by one. That's pretty big.
I was thinking the reason why I think that is usually really powerful in this edition is because of the
Save
fact
state.
that pluses are more prevalent,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Right.
it's like you can double down on those kinds of things with that kind of thing, whereas OCR don't get the double down,
Right.
but it does just seem like, but they've got the stats for it to make it good anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and then Blood Knights were extra egregious because they had the stats for it and the save stacking.
Yeah, exactly.
So like when like they made Nagash and End Times in like earlier editions, like your best thing was like a 5-up save with like a 4-up
Right.
to hit. So like who fucking cares?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it brought them to being like able to do damage at all in melee.
Right.
Yeah. So like, but then like in the world of like, Death has like elite infantry now that are like decent and good.
Yeah.
I think it became like way too much. So like I don't. Yeah, I agree that that command ability or that yeah that command ability needed to go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't compensate well enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know if the Night Hop book's gonna have him in there. I don't think so.
I think he'll just still be able to be taken with him
Yeah. Exactly.
as he is now. I don't
Hmm.
see why they would add yet another Nagash War Scroll. Can you imagine? I feel like that War Scroll has changed more than any War Scroll in the game by
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 times. The next closest.
Um. Do you count the Sylvaneth trees, the wildwood?
Oh,
Because that's definitely the winner.
if I count that, then yeah, all right, not quite
Yeah,
as
but you're yeah, to
egregious,
your point, it's up there
but
for
it's
sure.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that in the Wildwoods. Yeah, okay, those two have been changed so
Hmm.
goddamn often. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And like
Like
I
shit.
could see a
I
world
was
where
just
like
gonna, yeah,
oh go ahead,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just gonna say shit. I can just like it seems like every time I turn around, it's like, oh, Nagash has a new war scroll. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
call me surprised.
Hmm. It's true. I just could see a world where like the team who does the battle scroll like
Did
quarterly
not talk to
update.
the Night Hunt people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like they got both like word from corporate like we want Night or Nagash to be in every army. And then so the teams worked on them separately.
Yeah,
And then
they
so we get
both
a
did it.
completely like
And they just reprint him with the same command ability that he just lost.
yeah,
And
exactly, like a very slightly different version.
yeah,
Oh, that'd be so funny. And then like
that
the
would. I
FAQ
feel like
comes
that would
up.
be like a day one errata.
Yeah.
Like we already printed it.
Mm-hmm.
The book was already out for the printers when they decided to do that other change.
Yep. God, that's so funny.
That would be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. That would be just a clusterfuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't want that either.
Yeah, that would just be confusing more than anything. I think.
Mm-hmm. I could see Nagash getting severely hit hard by the Night Haunt book, depending on how the spell lore changes.
Oh, like to the point of being like not useful in that book anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be
because
sad.
the thing that makes him really, really good in Night Haunt is the reroll hit and wound spell.
Oh, okay.
But like nobody in Night Haunt can take advantage of that at all,
Yeah.
except for him, and then he's insane with
Hmm.
it. Casting value 4.
He just gets it, right? Like, does he even have to roll? Well, I guess he has to roll because he could
You could
miscast,
double
but
him,
like,
yeah.
otherwise, like, literally can't fail.
Yep, exactly. All right. You wanna start talking about Thondia?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think my camera froze.
Uh
I think did both of ours?
oh. Yes. Yes, they did.
Oh, well, my Discord is actually fine. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like OBS caught up.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I
That's
just
so
turned on the
weird.
sound and then I heard myself and was like, I guess we're fine. And then everything just suddenly got up. So it's like, okay, guess we're good.
Yeah,
That was weird.
I hope that wasn't there for super long.
I know, right?
Yeah. Oops. Sorry, everyone. Let's
Yeah,
see.
shit happens.
Yeah, exactly. So the first thing to talk about in Thondia is the we're gonna go over the match play rules today. Um, and we want to talk about the incarnate because
Or
I think we're both pretty high on this thing if I remember correctly.
this looks pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah. So first of all, it's like bonded to one of your heroes, and yeah, it's basically you take it as like an enhancement that's like connected to one of your heroes, the same way that you would like a command trait or an artifact, and then you put it on your army, and then that's just locked in for however long you do the event. And then you include the incarnate in your roster. But if you have an incarnate, you can't include allied units. And I don't. Yeah, whatever. That's fine to me.
Yeah.
And if you like count it as like not part of your army, it's already 400 points. That's your ally limit anyway, even if it didn't count.
Yep.
And then what this lets you do, because I heard that hot take of like, well, I think it sucks that you can't do both, but like I don't think it matters.
It's
It,
basically just your ally points. Like
yeah, exactly.
like you'd have to be running an over 2,000 point list to have that even be relevant. So
And then it's also relevant in 1,000 point lists because then you can take it still.
yeah.
Yeah,
I guess what they're saying is why can't I run this 400 point thing and 400 points worth of allies? Because then you're not playing your army anymore. What do you
yeah.
mean?
One of my friends was like, I think mostly facetious, but was like, man, I really wanted to run this with Gotrek in my Lumineth list. Like, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, of course you
Uh,
can't.
no
Stop it.
thanks.
You're
I could
making
even
Warhammer
do
look
that and
fun.
I don't
Stop
want that.
it. Yeah. So, but either way, like I think that's totally fine.
Yeah.
So wild form is so if the hero that's bonded to it is slain, the you lose control of it and it goes wild. Woo!
Ooh.
It remains part of your army, but it treats other units in your army as enemy units, and other units in your army treat it as an enemy. In addition, special rules apply to the incarnate and its wild form described in the War Scroll. And I think the gist of it is like if you're the only thing close enough to it, it charges your own stuff. But we'll get to
Yes.
that in a minute.
Yeah, well it also has other it gets like extra rules also. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about that in a minute. Let's just finish this.
Yep.
So it has like states, and when you summon it, it's level 2, and it can go up to level 3. And then there's like little titles for it, like I forget what they are, but anyway. Um. So if how am I trying to say this? So it doesn't like have wounds or dies naturally, like normal stuff, but it kind of has like the Lord Croak thing, where at like the end of a phase where it took damage. Um. Oh, in the battle shock phase, if it took damage, you roll 3 dice, and if it's less than the amount of damage you took this turn, uh, it goes down a level, and if it hits level 0, it dies, basically.
So is that actually different than Croak?
I mean, Croak straight up dies, but yeah.
No. But I mean, like, because if Croak takes 1 damage, right? You
Mm-hmm.
roll the dice, and then if the total is 19 or more, he dies, right? But this is the opposite, right? You have to
Let me
roll
reread
under the
it,
amount
yeah.
of damage he took.
Instead of the battle shock phase, if any wounds are allocated to an incarnate. Yeah, I guess it's similar, but different. Yeah.
So, like, if you only dealt 2 or even up to 3 damage, he couldn't possibly die to 3 chip damage, right?
Um, less than
Or
or
maybe
equal
2,
to.
2.
So
Yeah, less
two.
than or equal
Yeah.
to. So 2. So 2 damage literally does nothing to him.
Yes.
Okay.
Where like Crow could pop.
Yeah, Crow could pop on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is embarrassing and hilarious, but
Yes. And kind
yeah.
of unfortunate for Crow, but
Yeah, exactly. But so there's like huge pros and cons to that. Like, so this is sticking around for 2 turns at the minimum.
yep.
So it's half of a Marathi kind of,
Yeah.
and we know that Marathi. That's one of the things that makes her insane.
Yep. Sure does.
That being said, though, like the thing, like there's gonna be frustrating moments. I think where somebody's gonna do 3 damage to this and then like completely ignore it in combat and then it's still gonna de-level. But at least it's not like gone forever. But
Yeah,
like
and
that's definitely
actually,
a thing
and
you could
even
fish for.
de-leveling doesn't like take away that much
No.
of its power. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
actually still remains quite powerful, even de-level just once. Like, it's only losing 2 attacks.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we haven't got there yet, but that's
2 very
that's
good attacks, but yeah.
2 very good attacks. But it has a lot of them to start with, so.
Yeah. Um but I don't know, like I incredibly value that because I think there's a lot of armies that like suffer from not having like a distraction piece or like a big monster. And
Yeah,
like
yeah. Oh,
this
definitely.
fills
Yeah,
that role very, very well for those armies.
definitely does.
And
And I like that the wild form thing, it affects you, but if you just send it at your opponent like right away, like that's what it's intended to do. It feels like is just go smash into your enemy right away.
yeah,
And if you do that, then it even if it goes wild, it's not going to affect you too much.
yeah, yeah, you can keep it safe for sure. Let's see, what else? So the bonded thing, so if it's a yeah, need to use an incarnate in the battle is found okay. The effect that being bonded has on an incarnate in the hero they are bonded is to record here. I don't know what that. Oh, okay. I guess that's the war scroll on the side. I was just
Which
reading
part
the
are we
paragraph.
reading?
Bonding, empowerment, wild form, that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, and that doesn't
oh
really
yeah,
say too
yeah,
much
yeah.
there.
It's
Yeah.
just yeah.
All right, let's go to the war scroll then. I think we covered this.
Yep.
All right, so first off, first the upper left, they don't have like a wound thing down there. It counts as 18 for anything that needs its wound characteristic.
Which is cool.
Um, it's kind of funny like how off-putting that thing in the top left is to me, without the
Oh
wounds
yeah,
on
the
the
fact that
bottom.
it doesn't have that there.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
such a nitpicky thing, but it's not like oh, you know.
Like there's something just wrong with that.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it's okay. So it moves 12, 4 up save, bravery 10. So like it is pretty easy to put damage on it, but like the fact that it stays around for 2 turns is really cool.
Yep.
So yeah, like it's deal withable for sure. Um, so it has 6. So base, it has 6 attacks, threes, -2, 3 or 2 damage, and then 1 attack, threes, twos, -3, 4 damage. And it basically gets +1 attack for each of its levels. So it starts at level 2, so it's 8 and 3 instead of 6 and 1.
It's quite good.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep going for now. So bonding is if the hero that is bonded to it issues all out attack, it issues it to everything in the domination range, which starts at 10 and then can go up to 12 at level 3. At level 1, it's down to 8. So it's like it just amplifies your all out attack, which is, I think
So
that's sweet.
is the domination range branching out from the hero that's bonded?
No, it's branching out from the incarnate itself.
Oh, so does it give it to so if you use all out attack with the bonded hero, everything around the incarnate also gets it?
If you use all out attack on with the bonded hero, on the incarnate, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So one not quite so nitpicky thing about this is so it comes in the Kronspire box,
Yeah.
and it doesn't come with the rules. You have to buy the
Oh.
$55 book to get the rules.
Oh. Come
It's
on.
not good. Yeah.
Unless it's
Because
on
I
the
was
app.
like, I'll read along within my instruction booklet or something,
Does
and
it,
it's not here.
does it happen to come on the app?
I don't know if it's on the
Maybe
app
not
yet.
yet.
Maybe it
Yeah.
is. I hope so. But
It better
it
be.
should be eventually.
Yeah. That's a
But
little
yeah.
annoying.
Yep. I didn't care for that too much. But
No. You did me wrong, G Dubs.
yeah, not a big fan. Anyway.
Yeah, none of that. So actually, I misread that. It's any hero that issues it to the crossplayer, not just the bonded.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. So
Yeah,
if you issue it to this guy,
the
then
Kron Spine.
everyone around it
Yeah.
also gets it.
I keep calling it the Kron Spire. Sorry, it's the Kron Spine.
Prawn
Spine.
spined. Okay,
Yeah.
prawn spine.
Yep.
That
So
that
in
makes
here,
sense because it's literally just like a spine.
yeah, because I remember last show, you're like, I don't think it's called that. I'm like, it totally is.
I
Yeah, this is my show, Bill. Don't question me. Yeah.
don't know if I really questioned you. It just, I just no. What happened was you said it, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is, and you're like, it's the thing, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. I was playing it up.
Oh,
That's all. Yeah.
think I'm questioning you on your own show. What kind of person would I be?
It's your
Jeez.
show too.
What was that?
It's your show too.
Eh, yeah, vaguely. I bet on it a lot.
Yeah. I would say it's about at least 30%.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That's
Yeah.
fine.
All right, and then also, if the wizard it's bonded to gets +1 to cast, which
Yes, which is
that's
cool.
not nothing. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like
And
that.
worst case, if you want to, just use your artifact on an arcane tome, you can have a pretty decent wizard all of a sudden.
Yeah. So what else can it do? Wild form. So add 1 to hits for attacks made by this incarnate while it's in its wild form, and it can run and still charge in the same turn while it's in its wild form. If the incarnate is in the wild form and is within 12 inches of a unit or an endless spell at the start of your charge phase, it must attempt a charge and make a charge move if it's possible for it to do so. So, wild form is basically when the bonded hero's dying, it goes into that. And that begins at run and charge. And if it's within 12 inches of anything, you have to like charge and move. So if it's only within range of your stuff, it has to charge your stuff. But like it could be within 3 of your stuff and like 6 of the enemy. And if it makes a 7-inch charge, you can still go at the enemy.
And here's another interesting thing about that is
Mm-hmm.
the amount of times it's going to charge your own stuff where you didn't make a mistake is very, very low.
Yes.
Because you can move at 12. Not only that, since you can run and charge, you can move really far with this thing outside of the range of all of your other guys. So like unless you kept it in like your back lines or if you happen to be winning real hard and it did its job, like chances are really good that that's not going to matter.
Yeah. Yeah, like
But
if it hits your own stuff, you misplayed. I think it's fair to say,
yeah.
or like you held it back too hard. Because I think even like worst case scenario, like, let's say they go first in like a battle round, or like let's say they like just shoot it off the board, right? And like of course they can't do that round one, but if they're in a situation where like they can de-level it, and or like I guess they could shoot your hero off the board, right?
Yes.
So if they like kill your hero and make it go wild, you can still move this thing.
Yes. Correct.
It's 12. I guess is
Yeah.
what I meant to say. Yeah.
It's 12 plus because it then has run and charge. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you can just get that thing the hell out of Dodge.
I don't think you can issue commands to it in its wild form because your guys treat it as an enemy unit.
Oh,
So
that's interesting.
You can't like at the double it, which would have been my first thought.
Right, yeah.
But like
But unless it's like in the middle of your army, 12 inches is
yeah.
enough to get it out of range. So you'll be fine.
Yeah. 12 inches plus if you must, you move your things back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many ways to have it not kill you.
Yeah.
But then you're putting 400 points somewhere that it's not as good, right? So
Yeah. So like I think that's a good spot for it too,
yeah,
because that gives
that
it
that
plenty of play,
yeah,
and then plenty of like, because like I feel like there's a world where it could be very egregious that it automatically survives around, but the fact that like you can put your opponent in a situation where they have to play with it suboptimally is kind of a balancing factor to it.
yeah.
But it's not that suboptimal that it like makes it bad.
No, I think it's actually a really like I feel like
Safe.
monsters not being able to get shot off the table or killed immediately in one turn is actually maybe just like a good thing for the game
Yeah,
in
probably.
general.
Yeah.
So like I kind of like the Marathi effect is probably like just something that's probably good for the game as long as like everybody has access to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a way more fun way of doing it than like Archeon Zinch, where it's like he had the Marathi effect of he can't be killed because he was like on a 2-up, like almost unrendable rerolling ones, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah,
yeah.
and like at least this one you're like, all right, he will get a turn with it, but like
Yeah.
I could play around it and stop it, right?
Yeah, the only way you don't get a turn is if they somehow you not only do a ton of damage to it, but also get like an insta kill on it.
Yeah,
Because the
and
insta kill or delevels it right away.
yeah,
Which
the
I don't know
insta
if we
kill
got to that
levels.
yet, but
Yeah, I don't think we. I think we glossed over it in the last section actually.
oh,
But that's
maybe we did.
okay. Yeah, but like
Sure.
yeah, that's good to know too. If you insta kill it, just D levels. And like
Yep.
I'm like, let me tell you, like Marathi does die like most of the game she's in.
Yep.
So like it's not like they're impossible to kill, but it just guarantees you get value out of them,
Yep.
and I like that a lot.
And also the interesting thing there is, right? Like this thing hits really hard. So
Mm-hmm.
like they might not get enough attacks to do meaningful damage back.
Yeah.
Like when you send it in. Like if you pick your targets right,
Mm-hmm.
this thing can get a lot of rounds of combat, I feel like.
Yeah.
And
Like it's
and
minimum
that's
of
fun to
two.
me.
Yeah.
Like I want to run this in my like corn army and just like because doesn't this like feel like the perfect corn piece. I'm gonna
Yeah.
run in there. You're not gonna be able to kill me right away, which is what it kind of lacks for,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna hit you so goddamn hard, and yeah, it's just like doesn't that feel like so good?
Yeah, they're one of
Like
those armies
such an
that
alpha
like
strike thing.
suffer from having like a distraction anvil,
Yeah,
and like bloodthirsters are good, but they're not anvils in the slightest.
right,
And
correct.
like this is one of those armies that I was talking about. Like, don't you think this is like perfect for Night Haunt too, for example?
Yeah, definitely,
Like that kind of
definitely.
thing. Gloomspite
Yep.
probably could really use something like this.
Yeah, because it's like you have to go deal with that thing because it's gonna mess you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Let's
I
finish,
absolutely agree.
and then we can talk a lot more about this kind of stuff because I have a lot of thoughts too.
Oh, about
So
what? Sorry.
let's finish the War Scroll,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then I have like some other things I want to mention too
Cool. Yeah.
after that. But yeah, so we have a new rule called Inflamed Savagery, and it's all units within this range of the Dominion range, which is 10 and can go up to 12 or down to 8 based on its level, have these benefits. So the commanding player can reroll run and charge rolls for this unit, which I think that's fucking huge. Another reason why it's
Reroll.
sweet with Night Hunt right now.
Oh, dude, no, no, no. You put that in OCRC.
Yeah, you finally get
Finally
your
get your
reroll
reroll
charges too.
charges.
Yeah.
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 Actually, man, it feels like a good OCRC unit too.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it just because it's good? Like,
Yes.
is that why
Yeah, it's
it
good.
feels good in all these things? Yeah.
1,000% is good, but yeah. So
Like,
yeah,
is it
we
worth
can.
400 points? You know, we'll find out. But it feels
hmm
good right now.
Yeah. Next rule here: the units cannot retreat.
Yeah.
That is going to be wild.
Yeah, right? Because, like, okay, to be fair, there's, like, a lot of games I feel like that, it's maybe not worth retreating, maybe is, but, like, just not being able to at all, and you can count on that and lock something in, like, that's cool.
You know how many times I retreat? It's so strong.
Yeah.
Like I still hold it, but I still have bodies over this point on you. But I'm not gonna fight you. Like I
Yeah,
do that all
right?
the time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that stops like me so hard.
Yep.
I feel like even like the Lumineth Sphere guys probably would really benefit from like retreating and then just holding the point.
Mm-hmm.
And like this just stops that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It stops your opponents from picking their fights, which picking your fights is usually how you win this game.
That's almost the name of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really hard to tell exactly how good that is, but I think that's going to be insane.
Right. I think it's going to be like one of those things that we never really find out. It's just impossible to quantify
Yeah, exactly.
like how good that actually turns out to be.
And then
But
I think some play groups it's going to be very different. Because I think if you have like a very destruction heavy group, like that rule is going to do basically nothing.
yeah, it's like
Because that's a
we weren't retreating anyway.
yeah, exactly. And like I feel like if you're fighting death or like skinks or like Skaven and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
this is probably going to do a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe like that makes it a meta piece too, which is awesome. Rather than just like an auto pick. And then wizards that aren't bonded from it get -1 to cast dispelling and unbinds.
It's
Which
within domination range, right?
yes.
Yeah, so you just like that's cool too. It's like, hey there, opposing wizards. I'm just gonna send this sucker right into you.
So like what that
Good
makes
luck.
me think of too is like Belladama from Soulblight. Like she can bond to this thing. And then like she has bodyguard rules with the wolves anyway, so she's gonna be really hard to kill and make it go wild. And then this gives her +1 to cast. She has +1 to cast. She re-rolls. So she's
Oh
just gonna
God.
get everything now. And then
Yep.
like you put this in range of your enemies, like stronger wizards, and then they
Yep.
suffer into spelling. And then like
Good
yeah,
lord.
it's almost like a +3 re-rolling cast like that. Yeah, you know why this seems good in a lot of armies, Bill? Because it is a good in a lot of
Because it
armies.
is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, so it still depends. Like, I don't know offhand if that's enough damage for 400 points, right?
yeah.
I don't know if it matters considering all these other things,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the amount of damage, like if that's enough damage for a 400 point model, then I think it's going to be good all the time. And if it's not quite enough damage on average, then it's going to be like a good piece in like certain lists, like say with Belladama.
All right, yeah, exactly. And we'll get to this for sure. One more war scroll rule I want to talk about, or two, I guess, because they're baked in together.
Mhm.
Short thing is this can charge enemy endless spells. And then it has a monstrous action to dispel an endless spell it's in combat with on 2d6. And if it succeeds, and it's above casting value, not like the roll. I guess that's always been true for endless spells in third. But yeah, so if you beat the casting value, you dispel it and you gain a level. Otherwise, if you fail, you lose a level.
Oh, it's so risky.
Yeah, that's a huge
Like,
risk.
it was like, oh wow, that's so good, and then you read the last sentence and you're like, I'm never gonna do this.
Well, because there's a pretty good chance that it gets rid of the um what is it the guarantee for it to last a couple turns
Yeah,
because you
but
could
then
de-level it
but
and then
then
it
you
could
could pick
lose
up
it
a
in
whole.
combat.
But then there's actually almost certainly a greater than 50% chance that you actually pick up an extra turn with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
It's
man, the times you don't, it's gonna feel so bad. But it's like
yeah,
almost like a risk you have to take because of how good that would be.
and like the extra attack is like yeah, like that's an extra 6 damage to
Yeah.
like or could
Oh
be.
man,
Yeah. So
that's
here's the thing I don't know, right? Is so it says that you can only charge enemy endless spells,
yeah.
but when it becomes wild, it treats all things as enemy things.
Oh, so can you just like summon something next to it?
That's what I'm wondering too. Is
Maybe.
like I don't know. Like there's definitely like 4 wound like wizards out there that you could like bond this to, and then
Yep.
like flaming skull themselves to death.
Yeah.
And could
And
you
you
like
oh man, I don't
hypothetically?
know.
So like, could you hypothetically like put like an endless spell like within 3 inches of an enemy, closer, I guess this is a lot of hoops to jump through for basically +3 to charge. But do you see what I'm getting at here? Of like, you put the endless spell, you charge it, and then you pile into the enemy you actually want to pile in to make your charge closer.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's too many hoops to jump through to make that worthwhile.
Yeah, it feels cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a feeling there's
but
going to be a
maybe.
game that like it comes up, but I don't think you can reliably build a list around that kind of deal.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I feel like there's definitely going to be a game where you have like your Chalice of Usharan or whatever that like is a good thing that you're bringing anyway, and
Yep,
then your Bonded Wizard dies, and then you see an opportunity to give yourself some bonus charge.
it'd be cool. Assuming it works that way,
Yeah, well, I
which
don't.
I think
I think it does, right? I don't see why not.
rules is written. It seems like it does.
I don't know rules as intended, but rules as written, I think it does.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
I would, as a TO, I would rule that you could absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why not. But yeah, so that's an interesting thing. And then the next graph I wanted, or yeah, I kind of buried the lead there. But the next thing I wanted to do was a graph where I compared this thing's damage to the Gatebreaker Mega Gargant, which is considered the
Oh,
most damaging one of the Mega
okay.
Gargants, and
Cool.
it's 120 points more. And
I don't
so,
see it yet. I
okay,
assume you.
you're gonna get it in a second.
All right, cool.
But so basically, um, the assumptions I made were that you didn't all out attack with either unit,
Okay.
and I put it as the assumption of that it's a level 2, not a 3 or a 1, just a level 2.
Yeah, I think that's the spot for it.
Yeah. And so what we see is the Kronspine on 2-up saves does 8 damage on average, and the Gatebreaker does 10. And this is counting the Gatebreaker's ranged attack too.
Okay.
Uh, on 3-up saves, the Kronspire does 10.3. The Gatebreaker does 12.7. On 4-up, the Kronspine does 12.59. Gatebreaker does 15.37. 5-up, Kronspine is 13.78. Gatebreaker is 15.67. 6-up, 13.78. 15.67. So it's like around 2 damage less on average than
But
the
for
Mega Gargant that's 120 points more than it.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, right?
And it can't be it serves a slightly different role because I feel like because if you can kind of if you can DPS down the Gatebreaker Guardian in one turn, that's
Mm-hmm.
really good, and you can't do that to this, so like against that army, it's better to have this guy,
Yeah,
maybe?
but people brought the Mega Gargants as an anvil, not a hammer, most of the time.
Right. Yeah.
And this is a better anvil, I think.
I
Ah,
think so. Well, no, it depends though, because like in the case where someone can reliably do like 9 damage, you could lose that in 2 turns easily.
yeah.
Whereas the you still got what, like 3 more turns of the Mega Gargant sticking around?
I guess in my mind, like, the thing I would be horrified about in tournaments is fulminators. Because those things do like 50 damage on the charge.
Yeah.
And like with living cities, they can just deep strike on the board edge and then make a 3-inch charge.
Right.
And so but they can kill whatever they touch except for the crown spine.
It's true.
Yeah, and if you're running like this as your like your buffer to things like fulminators, things that pass the Gargant DPS check, which is like kind of what the meta's become a little bit. I think
Mhm.
it's better against those. But weirdly, in a good healthy spot because it's worse than the Mega Gargant in bad armies.
Yeah, just kind of weird,
Right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, yeah, you could do all that damage. Great, good job. All right, I failed my test, but I'm
Yeah.
still going to hit you again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and, oh, here's something we never considered.
Sure.
You can't kill this thing before it attacks you.
Yes, exactly.
Even if you can kill it the next turn, you still get to attack no matter what. because it
Yeah,
doesn't de-level till the battle shock phase.
I guess I never explicitly said that, but I did have that in mind too. Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, but like I think that's good. I think that's even worth repeating. Of like, yeah, you will always get at least one combat with this, unless they like de-level it twice in the shooting phase.
But you can't.
Yeah, I
Oh, I
guess.
see.
Yeah.
Oh, you
So
should
like,
always have at least one turn with it, like no matter what.
I'm just trying to think. Is there any case where that's not true? Like if a double turn happens and you couldn't get a charge turn one, and they double turn and shoot it down, but then they wasted their double turn trying to shoot this down, and you're kind of happy, even.
Yeah, because I think most of the time, I feel like most of the time you can't do like that much damage on the shooting in the shooting phase.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
mean,
Maybe that's not true, but
I guess long strikes can, and like the very dedicated shooting armies definitely can.
right.
But then like there becomes like a risk play too. Of like, yeah, like I have the Marathi bow snakes and they double shoot, and they did like 9 damage to this.
Hmm.
And like, do I just say, well, that's good enough, and then hope that you roll like a little below average, like that 40% chance, or do I like double shoot
Do it
into
again.
this and then
Yeah,
lose that whole turn of
exactly.
shooting, moving nothing,
Exactly.
or like just dedicate half of my shooting to trying to move this and then actually doing actual nothing, you
Yep.
know? This is I could see this being like everywhere on the premise of like that alone, and then it
Hmm.
gets solved, and then it becomes like a fringe thing.
I'm sure there's a way to easily deal with this thing. Maybe not easily, but I'm sure there's ways to deal with this thing. And
There is ways to deal with it, yeah.
I bet you there's something we're not thinking about too that you go, oh yeah, okay, maybe not, XYZ.
Maybe,
But
yeah.
I don't see it right now.
I don't see it right now. I mean, the way I see it is like you just shoot at it, and like that definitely really helps. And because like I don't think shooting the wizard dead does enough.
No, I feel like
Yeah,
it. I feel like it does almost nothing.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
actually, get putting it in wild form almost might just be better for the player that's playing with it because it gets
Yeah.
additional buffs. It gets bonuses to hit even. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
so, yeah, you can't all out attack it, but it gets the +1 anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that when you were mentioning it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
And like maybe I should have put the +1 to hit inside of this just to demonstrate that.
yeah.
But like I don't think so because like you can get +1 to hit to anything you need easily enough. So I thought that was kind of a moot point. But like the damage
Right.
is very close. Worse, admittedly, but close.
It is very close, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Yeah,
And like I don't know, it's like it's also a force multiplier. Like the Gargant doesn't have any synergy with your army other than just being an anvil. And like
right.
this does. Like this like spreads all out attack to your whole army.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Well,
this gives you +1 to kill. Well, not your whole army, but like a combat force.
yeah,
A
but
good
you
amount of
do get
units.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not nothing.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I am so excited to try this in
Yep.
like 4 or 5 different lists right now.
Right.
Yeah, like I have so many ideas for this. I don't know how I want to paint it, to be honest.
I got my idea.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Let's hear
we're,
it.
we're gonna make this bad boy bloody,
Oh yeah,
like
you're gonna make it Varanite?
Fahrenheit, like this guy. Right,
Yeah, I think
all
that's
that
great. Yeah.
stuff. And my idea is that if they come out with more, I'll just make them all like corrupted by Varanite,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll just have a whole corrupted legion of uh of these incarnates.
I think it would be cool to like, because I want to make it like night haunty kind of,
Mm-hmm.
and like spectrally, but like
That'd be really cool.
I think the blood would look really cool too with like my vampires and my flesh eaters.
It's true.
Yeah, but like I think the spectral stuff works with them, where the blood doesn't super work with the OCR and Nighthawk.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do spectral. And
Cool.
like the one thing I had was like people wanting to paint it to match their army. It's like, oh, but it's like not like super lore friendly because this is like a gurish monster made from amber. And then the lore says that like the wizards basically enslaved them to their will. Like,
Hmm.
oh, actually it works. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And I guess like the thesis of this game is you can make anything you want in the lore work. So yeah, but
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, because it just feels weird to like not paint the amber thing amber. I might do the gem in the middle amber and then like the magic ghostly.
Oh, that could be cool.
That's what I'm thinking. Like yeah, amber center, and then they're just like pulling spirits from the realm stone. Spirit of the
Yeah, my
beasts.
my lore for my guy would be like it chaos sorcerer managed to douse it in Varanite essentially, and that's how it enslaved it,
Yeah,
and there you go, and then it's
and
all
that makes
corrupted
so much
and
sense. Yeah, because like Fahrenheit does whatever the fuck you want it to, apparently.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly just turning it to bad, horrible stuff, but
Yeah, but Marathi used Fahrenheit to become a god.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
she broke her body so she can get into a lantern.
silly Marathi.
I can't
He's gonna
imagine
regret
having
that
the
someday.
fucking gall to do that. I guess that's what makes her awesome, not me.
So I wonder if she's gonna if the story's gonna continue and she becomes a chaos god instead.
You know what's funny? Because in the old world, she was like the main Slanesh disciple.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh, I wonder if that's where they're going with it. Wouldn't that be interesting?
maybe.
Like, and she's gonna be the new Slanesh,
Mm-hmm.
or like half of Slanesh or something. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know.
totally off topic.
Yeah, but either way, like what I just wanted to demonstrate here is that the damage is very close, and that this thing's actually a buff piece, and it does
Yep.
more for what I want to do for the army than the Mega Gargant in most of my lists personally.
Yep.
So I'm like, I'm in, dude. I'm fucking sold. I'm playing this like my
Oh, I
next
think
six
so. I think
games.
it's
Yeah,
good. Yeah. Yep.
like
I
I'm
hear you.
sold. And I don't think it's broken though either. You know?
I don't think so. I think this was gonna be really good though.
Yeah.
But we might be proven wrong tomorrow, just like we were about other things. We'll
I don't
see.
think so though.
Well, okay, so there's the one elephant in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you technically can't run in tournaments. Rules is written. Apparently,
Why is
I've
that?
read something about that because this book isn't in the general's handbook as something that can be uh, used in match play.
Oh, but it's
So
not
technically,
in
the
the
war scroll
match.
doesn't exist.
It's not in the match play section though. It's in like the general all rules section.
So I guess the thought is that it's the match play or the general's handbook says which um, books can be used for match play, and it lists all the battle tomes and everything.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, and so this one isn't there yet. I'm sure it will be or added to be, like
Yeah, I'm
positive it
sure it
will
will
be,
be. Yeah.
but technically, as of right now, I guess not.
Okay, I
That's
guess.
that's what
Fine.
I heard. Yeah,
All right, fine. On a technicality, it's not going to do the thing that you know they're going to do. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a thing. I brought it up.
It's worth
Whatever.
mentioning,
Don't
but
sue me.
I think it's worth
I'm joking.
mentioning.
I'm
Yeah.
joking. Yeah.
I definitely think it's worth mentioning. I just think it's a facetious point ultimately.
Yes, yes, I do too.
Yeah.
But like,
All
I
right.
can't imagine them being like, "Oh, psych, you can only run it in this one book." Can
Mm-hmm.
you imagine if they actually did that? Holy fuck,
Yeah.
that would be awful.
And, like I get like tournament packs being unique, and like we're going to talk about the Thondia tournament pack soon.
Yeah,
But like that's a little different. But yeah. I think this is going to be too much fun to like. It just seems like a bad business practice too. To be
they
like,
did
oh, you
that.
can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. That'd be shady as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. So we got the realm sphere magic. So like we have like the Gur one inside the General's Handbook, and this is like a specific Thondia one,
Yep.
where we get like a set of rules that apply only to this realm sphere battle, or region of war is what they call it, not realm sphere. Realm sphere was the malign sorcery name. Sorry, but anyway, so the
Close enough.
magic is the same exact one. Metamorphosis, make a hero a monster, which never ever phased me as a thing I should be doing until I fought on Deepkin,
Mm.
and then I do it all the time now.
Well, it even gives you like extra stuff on points and whatever. Like I never really thought about it as like
Yeah.
something that is helpful,
Mm-hmm.
but it really is.
Yeah, I definitely had a match the other day too, where like we thought it's not as helpful on points as you think because a lot of them are like you have to declare what monster does it first, or not a lot. Well,
Oh,
one of them was the one I'm thinking of is hold a point with a monster. So
oh
you
yep.
can't like pick your wizard and then cast the spell to be the monster. It has to be the monster at the start. But if
Oh,
you do
interesting. You
stuff,
have to pick the monster that's gonna do it.
yeah, exactly.
They
Yep.
don't read if it was a monster score an extra type of thing.
Some of them do, but the one I'm
Okay,
talking
okay.
about is the one monsters takeover,
Oh, okay.
which is hold it with a monster.
Yeah, but you
Um,
have to specify the monster, not just any monster.
yeah.
Got it.
So like that would be like the best application for that, except they nipped it right in the bud to
Yeah,
begin with. But
that's
yeah,
kind of weird.
yeah. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, I think you're definitely right. Like it'll help your savage spearheads just making a monster running up. But like the main thing like, I bring it up against the Deepkin is because like the only way I know how to deal the Achillean King is do Arcane Bolt, do monster, charge the king, and then do like 5 mortal wounds to it.
Yeah. So wait, how does make being a monster help?
Stomp.
Oh yeah, yeah, right, right, right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So like that's how I deal with the Achillean King. I just
That's
stuff
something
him.
not many people can do,
No.
but Osier sure can.
Yeah, and then you have like your shrine that does a mortal wound on a 2 up to him.
Yep, yep. So you
Yeah.
have like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things you can just kind of randomly hit them with.
Yep. It's fun. Anyway, that was a tangent for no reason. Sorry, folks. The realm command is exactly the same too, which is where you force the monster to fight at the top of their bracket. I guess not force is not the right word, but you know what I mean.
Well, force is actually an interesting word because for Scarbrand it would be bad.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But then you just don't issue it to him. But yeah,
Yeah, you just
yeah,
don't do it. Yeah,
yeah, I see your point.
yeah.
That's funny.
It's like, no, I want to hit things hard. Don't make
Yeah.
me do that.
Oh. But yeah, same one. And then the new like war, we have monstrous denizens, and then people love this and people hate this, and you know exactly who you are if you're one or the other. But at the battlefield, or after the battlefield has been set up, but before territories have been assigned, the players roll off. The winner can set up one monster within 3 inches of the center of the battlefield. This monster is referred to as a monstrous denizen. Any monster from any faction can be chosen if it is not part of either player's army. Or it is not a part of either player's army. At the start of each battle round, before determining priority, the players roll off. In the battle round, the winner of the roll off treats the monster's denizen as unit in their army and have the opponent treat it as an enemy. The monster's denizen's commanding player can choose to attack, but if they do, till the end of the battle round, they treat it as an enemy unit. Their opponents treat it unit in their own army. The monster's denizen cannot attack itself. So basically, you put a monster in the middle of the board, you roll off for control. Um, if you like a fluffy narrative where there's a big monster in the middle of the thing, you know who you are. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be fun. And other people are gonna find this very frustrating because it's very random.
Hate it.
Yeah, right.
Yep. No thanks.
Yeah. So like, it's weird that it's a matched play thing because it seems like a
Yep.
very narrative thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and like I have some
Yep.
friends that I know who are going to be very excited to play with that,
Mm-hmm.
and I have some friends that I know are like their stomach is turning reading that, and you're
It's
definitely the
just like,
latter.
yeah, it's like, why are we like? I'll play these missions. They don't look bad, but don't make me do that.
Yeah.
There's one mission where I can see it being interesting, like specifically
Mm-hmm.
because it's very asymmetrical and like actually could maybe be interesting, or maybe makes it even worse. I don't know.
I
But
didn't read the missions yet, so we'll get to that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I can see. I don't love it, but I think I could have fun with it if like the other person really wants to do it. I would do it, but I'd probably
Yeah.
choose not to personally.
The
And
other
I think
thing,
this ruins it as a GT thing.
what was that?
This ruins it for like a grand tournament. Like
Oh,
if you're doing
absolutely.
an actual
You're never.
tournament, like this is terrible. I think.
Yeah, you're never doing this. Yeah.
hmm
The
One cool thing they did though is monster mounts. So there's like war scrolls that are heroes on a mount, and if you bring that, it's just the monster. So I could like hypothetically have an abyssal terror that like a Mortark mount without a Mortark on it as one of these, and that's kind of cool.
oh, that's interesting.
And the incarnates can be that too. So
Ooh.
like this could be a fun modeling project. For
Yeah.
like I love the abyssal terrors, and I think it would be cool to have a neutral one.
hmm
And then like I have a reason to now. But like not a
So
great one.
another weird thing about this that you probably have to house rule is
hmm
because it joins your army for the turn. If it has your keywords, it could get buffs and stuff. So you probably have to not let that be a thing.
Oh, so that extra sucks then because at the yeah after the you roll off and the winner
Yeah,
chooses which one it is.
correct.
Yeah, so like yeah
And you could absolutely just choose one that's from your army,
yeah
and
I got
then
a free Terrorgeist.
yeah, basically,
Yeah yeah, and I'm gonna feeding frenzy it.
yeah,
Okay yeah
basically,
terrible.
it's awful. It's really bad.
Yeah, moving on. I want to talk about the mysterious terrain. I don't know
Yes,
about you. I even the games I rolled for it, I never ever remember it.
we very rarely did. Yes.
And it's not even just you and me. It's you. It's me and any other person I ever play with.
Yep.
It's just I don't care for these that much.
They seem like they could be really cool, and I love like terrain in games and stuff like that. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And maybe I just got to get better at remembering it, but
Well, the my problem with a lot of these types of things in general is there's already so many rules in this game, and it just
exactly.
becomes a memory exercise
Yeah.
in a lot of cases. Where I don't think adding more mental load to the player is necessarily a good thing.
No, I would agree
So
with that overall.
yeah, but it seems like the kind of, and I always thought it's like, well, if I played more, I would remember my rules, and then I would want a little extra to do, and it would keep things fresh and interesting. And you know what? I've been playing this game for how many years, and that still hasn't happened.
Yeah, because we also get new books and armies and stuff.
Right, and there's so much you have to like keep in mind and
Mm-hmm.
remember. Like, yeah, okay, maybe if I played like 10 games a week, I would start to remember it, but I don't have time for that, nor
No.
an opponent to play against for that. So
Yeah. But like,
yeah,
it's sad though because like I feel like they're cool.
yes, I agree.
And like this is definitely one of those things if I was like on a computer game and they just
Yeah,
worked, like
definitely.
would
Like,
add
yeah, if it
so
just
much to
happened,
this game. Yeah.
and it's like it would be that type of thing where it happens and you didn't realize it was gonna happen. You're like, oh yeah, that's so cool. I'm so glad that was
Yeah.
there. Or
And
you
there's
get
like
like bit in the butt by something. It's
definitely
like, oh, I gotta remember to look for that next time. Instead of being
mhm.
like, not only do I have to look for it, but I also have to remember the fucking thing in the beginning
Oh
to
my
begin
god,
with.
Bill. Like remember that thing I was talking about? Like, is it worth it to like kill your wizard? Or if there's a way to do it. Like if you get like a damn scenery piece and you do D3 mortal wounds to it and then D3 off the burning head, you could do that.
Oh yeah,
So
right.
if you play by scenery rules, there's a way.
And I think the worst part about it is about those kinds of things is because you always feel bad when you realize afterward that you should have rolled for like a damaging thing
Yeah.
and you didn't, and no
Mm-hmm.
one noticed because you're like, well, that felt like I cheated a little bit, even though I totally didn't mean to, because it's hard to remember.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I just want
So
to point out
maybe,
a couple here that I think are cool.
yeah, absolutely,
Barbed snifferweed spheres. So in the shooting phase, you roll a dice for each terrain feature with the scenery rule. On a 6 up, you pick one enemy within 2d6 and deal d3 mortal wounds to that unit. So every army has a shooting attack when this is on the table.
yes. So I did read these. I don't
Yeah,
remember them all
of
offhand, but
course.
yeah, I did think that one was cool.
That one's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't. Yeah. Um, Garish deposit. That's fine. And then the Wellspring of Primordial Energy. You can like cast Wild Form on anybody, and then anybody can cast Wild Form on themselves, and then they get +2 to run in charge if they do.
Hmm.
Like that's good. Like
Yeah,
I
they're
see
cool.
a world where these are impactful and fun and awesome, but it's just I
Yep.
don't think anyone's mind works in a way that to remember these,
Right. Yeah.
and I
That's
could be
absolutely my
super
problem.
wrong,
Yeah.
and like it's just us. But like I think it's weird
So,
that it's specifically a Northeast thing.
so what I found is if you have a really hard time with something, either there's something fundamental that's going wrong, right? And you're just not realizing something, or way more people have issues with it than you think.
Yeah, I
And like
agree.
as soon as you like figure out the thing, it's like, oh, that's what I was missing, and then everything's a lot better. Or in the case of remembering something like this, it's like, oh, everyone has an issue with this.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
and like yeah, because that was gonna be my next question. It's like you play with people down there. Like I don't think you still remember these.
We never rolled for them for
Yeah.
scenery. Ever. Not once.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And we used to do it every game and then never
We
remember.
did, yeah, because we had the dice right there, and
We'd
yep.
remember
And
the
the amount of
award
times
ones
were,
sometimes.
yeah, like the bonuses to cast ones, we kind of remembered more often than the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the ones
I
that are
think,
like roll a dice and on a 6 or on a 1 do something.
oh my god, never
Yeah,
remember
never.
those. No, because they're just like almost all the time they do nothing. Like if they damaged you every time, right? Like
They would
I'd
be
have a
cool and
better chance of
impactful. Yeah.
remembering because of that.
But I feel like the barb sniffer weed that we talked about, like 2d6 is not a big range. And if like that just worked every time,
Yeah.
like even if it was like a mortal wound, you'd be like, all right, I need to burn this down. How can I do it? Oh, the scenery. Yes. Okay, that's
Yeah,
one
it's like, oh
damage.
right, yeah, there's the thing.
Yeah, and it just yeah, I don't know. They get closer to cool every time, and there might be a
Yep.
world one day where like I will remember them, and then like I will have a totally different opinion on this
Yeah.
because I think like in concept they're great. It's just I just wanted to get that point across. I don't know if everyone else in the world's like that too, but
Well,
yeah, we'll see.
I sure am.
Yeah. All right, we've talked about that enough. All right, and then the Stripe and Thondia Battle Pack. So this is like a match play campaign, which I like that idea a lot to begin with. But let's like talk about a little bit more. So yeah, step one, you agree with the other players and point limits. All right, of course. Step two, pick one faction for your army, and then consult the table to see what restrictions apply when picking units. And then you step three is you put it in a roster, and that's your army, and it like includes like your enhancements, your units, your everything. Just like any other tournament.
Yep.
Like you pick your army and it's locked in for 5 games.
Makes
Um,
sense.
yeah. Step four, you fight 5 battles using the battle plans on 108 through 112 in the order which they appear in the book. You must use the same army in each of the battles. You can fight each battle against any other player that is taking part in this campaign. But if 6 or more players are taking part, you cannot play against the same opponent more than once. So, that's important because I think there's a lot of reviews out there saying that this only works in a 1v1 setting.
Okay, so there is a reason for that
Yes, there is a
that you'll
reason.
see.
Yeah.
That and actually, some of the things become very confusing if in certain circumstances because of it. If you
Yeah.
don't do it 1v1, it
It's
like
not,
makes so
yeah.
much sense 1v1, and like for more people, less so.
Yeah,
But we'll see.
because, yeah, the missions
We'll talk about
basically
it.
say, like, if you won the last game and your opponent lost, yeah, do
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Like, because your standing changes how the outcome of the matches go.
right.
And it makes it read like you have to 1v1 this for 5 rounds. And that is not at all the case.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I
feel
just
like
want
it
to
might
make
be
that
better
abundantly
experience
clear.
in that way though.
Yeah. But, like,
But
yeah, but, like, that's what it says. It's like you choose the number of players. Step one, you choose two. And then you do them all 1v1, right?
uh
So like it's flexible in that way too. So you can do it 1v1 the whole way, and it's probably more fun. But they like tried to tournament proof it for a pack that I think we already went over, like, at the beginning of the Realm Sphere rules, why it should not be.
Yeah.
Like, if I were a tournament organizer, I would not touch this with a 10-foot pole.
No.
I don't think, but, like,
Not for anything serious. Anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe I
If
would
I
do it
market
for
it as, like, a narrative event,
exactly.
which is
Yep.
funny because we're using match plays rules for our narrative, it's, yeah. You get my
Well,
drift.
it's probably a better way to do a narrative event for a lot of people for like a weekend.
Yeah.
I could see it being fun, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then after each battle you record, you're like, whether you won or not, and then move on. Yeah, I just wanted to highlight step 4 completely because I think people missed that and it widely discolored their opinion. Oh, that's sick. I'm looking at
there it is.
the
Yep,
incarnate right now.
there it is.
I'm gonna
All
full
done.
screen it for a second for us. Yeah. Get that Chaos Knight over there. Put it next to it. I wanna see the scale
Oh yeah,
real
yeah.
quick.
There's Chaos Knight for scale. This thing is huge.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted.
Let's see. Here I got a Gorgon here too. Let's see. Let's see roughly
Oh
scale.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little
Wow.
hard to see. Ah, God. All right, that's actually awful. Hang on. Let's see if I can do this a little better. There we go.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah,
the
it's
same
it's
size.
it's about the same size. Yeah, and Gorgons are big. Like that.
Yeah.
That's not a small model. Yeah.
No, it's very sizable.
It's a very sizable model for 100 something points.
Yeah. And I hope those are like double the points. And
Oh my
triple is
God,
good.
please. Yeah, triple the
Textbook.
points would be great. Yep, thanks. Anyway, not important.
I said double the points, triple is good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I take triple the points and like quadruple is good.
Sure, yeah. I understand. But either way, yeah. Let's go back to the slideshow. And then we have new we have new core battalions, we have new battle tactics ish, and we have new grand strategies ish. Is the best way to put that.
Definitely.
So we have Monster Killer Pack, Hunters of the Heartland, which I think were the same as last time.
I think so.
Like word for word.
Yep.
So that's fine. And then we have Incarnate Master of Gur. So it's the Incarnate, the hero bonded to it in a 1 to 3 units. And the Incarnate only reverts to its wild form when everything in the battalion is slain instead of the hero. I don't know.
I think the important thing to I think that one's actually kind of cool.
It's
that last
cool
one.
on paper, but like I think about it, and we talked about like how not.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's like it doesn't even matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the one thing important to point out here is these are only for this battle pack, as far as I can tell.
Correct.
So
and which means
you're
the
not going to
general
be
handbook ones aren't in this battle pack at all, except for the ones that are the same name. Yeah.
So I think that's very important to note that you can't just run anything. You can't just like pick up. It's like, oh, I want to run the Incarnate Masters of Gur, you know.
Yeah. Only in this battle pack.
Yep.
And which I think when more of these campaign books come out, we have like a ton more battle packs. It's gonna be a fun way to like make sure that like you have interesting things you can do that don't get ridiculous when you combine like 5 books together.
Correct.
You get like the D&D 3rd edition problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Exactly. So like, yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you took extra effort to point that out. That's smart. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about these. 2 of them are the ones that existed already, and we knew you took one of them all the time, and the other one never.
Yep.
And then the third one is like, I guess if you took your core battalion, or for the warlord battalion, and you just had some guys left over, why not? But
well, I guess it also does 1-drop. So actually, no, hang on, it is more relevant. Yeah.
Are you sure?
It says
you're
1-drop
right.
deployment force rules. Yeah.
Actually, that makes it way
I forgot about that, so that actually makes it way better.
Yeah, never mind. I take back everything I said. This is kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like this better than Hunters for the most part. Not an OCR because you need your Hunters to be able to play your army at all. But cool.
Yeah.
I like this. Moving
Well,
on.
but then you do have a monster all of a sudden in OCR. Or
Yeah.
does or what? So what about
Why I need
hunters
hunters?
in OCR is so important,
Because
but not getting.
the only unit that is like making your army not a D tier army is your Mortek Guard, and it's because they can
Oh, and you
reroll
need
their
them to not get
saves.
roared, right?
Yes, and you need them to not get roared.
Right. Okay. Yep, that makes
That's
sense.
it. That's it.
That's right. That
Mm-hmm.
totally makes sense too.
Yeah. I can't wait for their new book whenever that comes.
I know, right? It needs to.
But anyway, yeah, these are boring, but like they're
Yep.
fine.
Yep.
They're good. Grand strategies. Lord of Incarnates. You complete this grand strategy if there are any incarnates from your starting army on the battlefield that have not reverted to their wild form. That's interesting.
Yeah, so that kind of plays with the other thing.
Yeah.
You might take it because of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah, that was fine.
Ruler of Mysteries. Complete this grand strategy if you control more terrain with the Thondia mysterious terrain scenery rules than your opponent.
Ooh.
Monstrous Presence. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy. If there are more monsters from your starting army on the battle than there are monsters from your opponent's starting army on the battlefield. So, worse Beastmaster, but I get it.
Um. Oh yeah, because it's not just. Well, okay. So the thing is, you don't have Beastmaster available though.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think they're trying to do different takes on these
Yeah, which
with
is
this,
good.
right? Yeah,
I wanted to
absolutely.
mention that too because, like, Beastmaster is one of those ones that was, like, almost impossible to lose.
Right.
They identified it and then made it harder, but still
Yeah, like
kind of
I think that's absolutely what they did.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Although
think
then it
that's a.
sucks that it's not actually for match play rules, but here we are.
It could be a thing, sign of things to come to.
It could be. It could be.
Playing around here, and then yeah,
Yeah.
they're willing to look at the space, is what that shows me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, which is
They're
huge.
they're they're looking at it, they're thinking about it. And I feel like this is like a test bed
Yeah,
for
exactly.
future
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
Um. Let's see. What's the next one? Pillars of Magic and Belief. Complete this if there are any wizards or priests from your starting army on the battlefield. You know what? There's no reason those needed to be separate to begin with.
Yeah,
I just took
it's
it at
true.
face value, but reading them together, I'm like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, like why not? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I like that a lot.
Yep.
That's a good rule. Yeah. A plus. Sever the head. Kill all your enemy heroes. Basically, that was an old one, but I never saw anyone take it.
Killing
But
all of them is so hard to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would like
Why
a
would you do
version
that
because
over like some of the really easy ones?
I hate talking trash on this because I think the game would probably be better if like all of the grand strategies were more along this line of you have to do something rather than
Oh,
keep
yeah.
something
That's
alive.
a yes. That's a very good point because it's like it's not that this one is like a bad design. It's just that they designed the other ones to be too easy.
Yeah, like you could argue that this is the best designed one,
Yeah,
but
right.
you'll never
Absolutely.
take it because yeah,
Because
the
it's
way the world
solo.
works.
It's basically a solo experience
Yeah,
that for other ones that are easy to do instead of like an interactive one.
exactly.
Yeah,
But yeah, I would like to see grand strategies go towards that in the future. But
I agree.
anyway, hold the line. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy. If there are any battle line units from your starting army on the battlefield, the same. Vendetta, you kill the enemy general and your general stays alive. These are mostly the same.
Yeah.
Except for like the Pillars of Magic and Belief, great change. Even though it does functionally nothing to the game, but it's good.
Yeah.
Because it makes you have to remember one less and get two grand strategies. A two for one. And we're Magic players,
One.
Bill. Like we love value.
Gotta love 2 for 1s.
Yeah, exactly. And then Monstrous Presence. Yeah, I think it's more in line with what we were saying with Sever the Head. It's more like a complete something.
Yep.
Because like they have more monsters than you. You have a mission now. I
Yeah.
think it's a really healthy change. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that a lot. Um, let's see the grand strategies, or no, battle tactics. Savage ranks, kill a battle line, and you get 2 achieved instead of 1 if it's with the Kron spine. Um,
Oh, I think so. Important thing to go over here is they did a change for this battle pack as to what they do.
okay.
They don't just give you points. It's if there's a tie game, whoever scored the most of them wins.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yes.
That's huge, actually. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good catch. So that's
So
why. So I was about to be like, I think it's weird that they like made it count as 2, but no, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it's
Good to
like
know.
it's not actually because that at first I was like, well, man, if you just have an incarnate, you're just like getting way more points than your opponent, and then I was watching a review or something, I don't remember, but
Mhm.
someone was like, yeah, and they don't work the same in this one. They work like this, and I was like, oh, that's way different.
I want to tell you, I like that way better than
Yeah,
it counting as points.
yeah.
I hope the next General's Handbook they just do
Well,
that.
actually, okay, I said yes, but I'm not sure I actually agree. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'd like to try it
Yeah.
and see if I like it better because there is definitely something interesting about like, hey, I can't do this mission as well, but like I can still score points. I don't know.
Yeah. I think the way that like the game's going, where like everybody has their own battle tactics, and
Oh,
they're
I
going to
see
be
what you're
some of
saying.
varying like difficulty to achieve.
So just make
It,
it rarer
yeah,
to
it's going
have
to
it
make the
matter,
haves and
essentially.
have-nots
Yeah,
like that whole issue with that's going to become a real big thing at
yeah,
some point, and like it kind of mitigates that out the gate.
yep.
That's how I see it. But like maybe then they do nothing, so maybe it's not good. But yeah, it's
I don't know.
worth trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like more homework for like, why am I even bothering?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's
I'm not sure.
continue down the
Yeah.
list. Yeah, so this one is control a terrain piece with the Thondia mysterious terrain. Okay, that's pretty easy or very hard depending on what
Well,
situation you are in on the table at the given time.
yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, I think most of the time it's very easy
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I think you're supposed to roll for all of them, right?
Hmm.
So like, the only time it doesn't matter is if you roll a one, I think, because then it's just
If you
really
roll a
ordinary
one,
or whatever.
yeah, which makes you roll on the original table.
Yeah, which I think, yeah. So I was watching her. Man, I can't remember whose review, but they were like, yeah, this seems like bad design because
I have to go
then
back
you
to read
not only
those.
have to remember these, but you have to remember those as well.
Yeah, I don't love it.
Yeah. So, but
I'd rather that it just does nothing.
I would honestly rather just as and then that brings up the question of like it says um it has a Thondia mysterious terrain rule, right? Or whatever it says, something
Yeah,
like that.
it's
But
exactly what
then
it says. Yeah.
technically this is one of them. But it says nothing interesting rolling the other table.
So which is
But is
it?
that still one of them?
Yeah,
Is it both? Is it neither?
that's
Is
an
it one or the
FAQ.
other? I have no idea.
That's you could argue either way.
Yep.
It's an FAQ.
Yeah. In FAQ, we'll probably never see, if I'm being honest. Because
Yeah.
those tournaments aren't going to use this, so it's
Dude, we still haven't
not
seen
going
an
to be super
FAQ for the
relevant.
first battle scroll, and we don't know how Nagash works still, so whatever.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, not better one bit.
No, not at all. Why would
Anyway,
you be?
yeah,
You
of
know,
course.
uh,
Predator advance. Pick 3 units from your army and then do the run thing within 3 inches of each other. And if it's Crownspire and the bonded here, you get count as 2.
okay.
All right, cool. That kind of
I,
sucks for your Crownspire
yeah, I'm
that
not
wants
doing
to
that with
get
my
in.
Kronspire if I'm running that thing. You
Yeah.
bet your ass.
Oh well.
Yep.
Abolish it. Kill the Crownspire from your enemy. And if you did it with the Crownspire, get 2.
Okay, well, I mean, wait. If is it worded just if you did damage with it? Abolished by an attack made by a friendly incarnate. Wait, that doesn't
No,
work.
that doesn't work at all.
No,
It
because
was
that's not
added
how
in
that
the
works.
yeah. In the
I mean, I understand their intent, sure, but they did not word that properly.
no, they didn't.
No.
So we know exactly how it should have been worded. If a Kron spine was banished in a turn which took damage from a Kron spine,
Yes.
yeah, is what it meant to say.
Yes. Almost feels like they changed the rules for it at some point.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. They must have done.
Or they did, or they, these were written by like junior designer that didn't fully understand how it worked or something. I don't know. I'm gonna just slip
Yeah,
past.
or they like just did a very lazy copy and paste from the old one and just put Kron spine.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah.
Actually, that absolutely could have been. And I mean, I'll be honest, if I was playtesting that, I bet I can see it being easy to miss.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're probably playtesting all kinds of stuff, and like that that nitpick wording, you're probably just like you just don't think about it.
I'm sure of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We know what it means.
yeah,
We know how
exactly.
any TO would organize or yeah, claim it. We know
Yep,
how everybody would want to play it.
yep,
The end.
pretty much.
Um, monstrous dominance. If at least 2 or 4 friendly monsters. At the end of the turn, you complete this battle tactic. If there are two more friendly monsters on the battlefield than there are enemy monsters on the battlefield, one of them is the incarnate. It counts as 2. That feels terrible.
What was it again?
If there are 2 more friendly monsters than enemy monsters on the battlefield.
Oh, so you just get it, maybe. It's just like, oh look, I have the more monster heavy army. I do it. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Very
some
interactive.
monsters that are like, yeah, I can have monsters as battle line, and then there's some armies that don't have monsters.
Right. Or have just the incarnate. But like,
Yeah. Like
yeah,
Nighthawk doesn't have a single monster other than the Nagash and the Incarnate, for
right.
example. Yeah. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well,
Oh my
okay,
god.
there's a little more play to that than it looks like, I guess, because well, there's some lists that it just totally doesn't matter. You just have more. You already have 2 more. You're gonna have 2 more at the end of the turn. Doesn't matter. You know,
Yeah.
you just get it. But like, there's some lists where you might have only 1 more, but then you cast a spell to make something a monster, and then you get it. Or
Mm-hmm.
it like, or you have there's an opponent's monster that's really low and yours aren't, and you're probably gonna kill it this turn, so you pick it and then you get it. So like, you can get it in other ways, but like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So
It
I can
feels bad.
translate for you. What you mean to say is that there's if you jump through a bunch of hoops and you had the right list built on both sides of the table at the very beginning of the game, there's a chance that this might accidentally become an interactive rule.
That is what I said. Yes.
Okay. Wow. Great, great, great stuff, man. Oh,
Yeah.
that
No.
that made me sour.
Yeah. That
All
one sucks.
right, then Amber Spearhead. If 2 or more units of your starting army are wholly within your opponent's territory, and one of them is the Kron Spine. I like that one because the Kron Spine wants to be charging your enemy.
Yep.
Cool. Like it.
That one's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. These are okay.
There's nothing special going on here.
Yeah.
They made it. Sometimes it feels like they make more. They make more content for the sake of it,
Yeah, I agree.
which, well, meh.
Yeah. I they could have just used the old battle tactics, but fine.
Yeah.
These didn't add too much. And I guess they kinda did for the most part, and then like there's only 2 like actual unique ones, which is having more monsters. But why didn't they just copy Bring It Down? Oh, they
It
did. It was
doesn't even feel
abolish.
relevant here, even like. Oh,
Oh,
they did.
it was
That's the incarnate.
abolish. Yeah. Oh man, that yeah. Okay.
I don't know. And whatever.
Terrible. All right. Well, 6 of them out of the 7 were good.
Is 7?
Yes, they're 7
Oh, that's okay.
instead of 6. 8. 8.
8. There was
Okay.
8 before.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
8.
know.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. And then you want to
Not gonna
do
lose sleep over that.
battle plans real quick?
Yeah, we get 10 minutes.
Yeah, so defender and attacker here. Roll off for it. Deployment. Somebody starts at the north edge. Do not roll for priority the first battle round. Instead, the player finished deploying their army first. Okay, so that's normal.
All normal.
Yeah. Each player has a rated edge marker on the map along the line of their opponent's territory. Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
it's like an escape one.
Yeah,
You
so
run
you're just
away.
trying to break through.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you get something within 3 inches of the edge, you remove the model. And then you win if you get more. So there's no like objectives here at all.
No, there isn't. There's
Yeah.
no objectives.
In
I
any
also
of them,
think there's
right?
something like you double the points and then whoever has more wins, or something weird like that.
What do you mean?
It doesn't say like double the points cost of the things that run away, then whoever has the most points that ran away wins.
Player
Doesn't it say something
totals
like that?
totals the point values of their units in their army that raided the enemy territory. If a raiding unit has less than half the models it started the battle with, it contributes half its points value, rounding up to the total.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I misremembered that. That's all.
It's kind of the same, but yeah. It's the
It,
other's
it
half instead of your doubled.
yeah, it's not
And
what I thought it was.
okay,
I'm
maybe that's a
glad. I'm
different
glad
question.
it's not because I thought it was just like you multiply for no reason, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. All right, so basically you're just trying to get more of your guys off the table than the enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel like an uninteractive game though?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's like some armies that can teleport and do it way easy.
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been saying I wanted them to like try um not like equal deployments, like equivalent, identical deployments. You know.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't mind that. This doesn't do it, but
yeah.
some of these do.
I think some of these missions are good. I'm not big on this one. I want to play it normally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a
I
Thondia
would
campaign.
probably do it once just because it's in the campaign if I was gonna do the campaign, just to
Yeah.
like maybe it accidentally was fun that one time.
Yeah. I have a friend who's like very keen on the campaign and wants to do it. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna do it at least once.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Next one is the invasion. So this is what we were talking about that made it seem like it was had to be 1v1. So if like the player that won their last battle is the attacker, and their opponent is the defender. If one
That
player lost their battle and their opponent achieved a draw, then the player that lost their battle is the defender. And if their opponent is the attacker, if any other circumstances roll off. Okay. So
Oh, okay. They did put all the rules in for it then.
they did,
And
yeah.
I didn't see. Okay. So what I'm hearing is they put a whole lot of extra words to try to make that reasonable.
Yep.
Okay.
I get it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I just hate word bloat.
Yep. Because you're like, oh, what the fuck does this do? All right.
Yeah, it's like I'm reading it and then it's like, oh, it does this really simple thing.
Yeah.
But you had to. But then again, we complain when things aren't worded
Clear.
specific enough to,
Yeah,
and yada
exactly.
yada yada. So,
It's a
yeah,
hard
whatever.
line to balance.
It's fine.
Yeah. Deployment is the corners. The defender is allowed to set up a faction terrain, not the attacker. That's interesting.
The defender can't or can.
The defender can and the attacker cannot.
Oh, weird.
Yep. And then
Oh, is there a lore reason for? Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's there's a lot of things in this that like happen for like lore reasons, almost like within the campaign.
yeah,
Like the attacker is the invader, so therefore,
they're not invading their own territory,
exactly. So
their
you
own
don't
terrain
have
base.
that. You don't have
Yeah.
your terrain, which kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
Yeah.
weird for armies that rely on it. Like Beast, can you imagine Beast being the attacker and not having
Yeah.
their terrain?
Yeah, it
Cool.
sucks.
Yeah, it sucks real hard.
Very badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Stormcast being the attacker is like, we don't have one. Huh. Or
Oh,
can
I
you
missed
imagine the
actually.
worst possible case where you paid 100 points for the whatchamacallit thing and you can't use it?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget it's
Oh my god.
I forgot to notice
Umbral.
that there's battle tactics specifically. In these missions too.
Oh yeah.
The raider and the blockade. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so like one of them is like if you get a certain unit through, that's your battle tactic, and if you block it. And this one, um, you have the occupy. If any model wholly within your opponent's territory at the end of this turn, and your opponent does not have any models wholly within their territory at the end of the turn, you get the battle tactic.
It's cool.
So that's a big ask, I think, but yeah.
Yeah.
You complete this tactic if there are any enemy models wholly within your territory at the start of your turn, and then you kill them. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, seems fine.
Once per battle round, the attacker can use a command ability without a command point being spent if they pick their general to use the command. That's going to be the most forgotten thing, but it's kind of fun for a lore thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you win? There are no enemy units wholly within it. So if you kill everybody in the enemy territory as the raider, you win.
Everybody?
A player controls a quarter of the battlefield. Yeah, at the end of the battle, the player controls a quarter of the battlefield if they have any units wholly within it, and there are no enemy units wholly within it.
Okay.
If one player controls one more quarter than the opponent, they will win a major victory. So you have to hold 3 of the 4 quadrants, or 2 if they only have 1.
Well, you actually just need to like be able to get a guy in an opposing territory to just say no.
Oh yeah, okay.
So like a fox would be super good in this mission.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you just have to have guys in every territory and try to get them not in yours at all.
Yeah, just like win one territory and just like hold everything else. Or if they don't have something there, then that's good enough too.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good mission, I think.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think that's a good mission. I would be excited to try that one. We got the prize.
Interesting. You want to like keep guys towards like the center cross so that they can go one way or the other, kind of.
That's actually kind of interesting though too, right? Because the winner is the attacker, and then they lose their faction territory. So it's kind of like a self-balancing thing too. Like the winner kind of loses stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting actually. Like I don't hate that. Like it's an anti-snowball thing.
Yeah, exactly. I like that a lot actually.
Yeah.
Oh. Next one. Yeah, the attacker. Yeah, so basically the trend going forward, I think on all of these, is if you won and your opponent lost, you're the attacker. If your opponent lost and your last game was a draw, you're the attacker. Otherwise, you roll off.
Yeah, it's basically if you did better than your opponent is I think the easy way to.
Yeah. So the deployment, the attacker's on this edge. The attacker must take the first turn, dominant warlord. Oh, so you're always gonna have dominant warlord if you're attacker. So that's kind of nice to have. Just the attacker gets a free command point and loses their terrain.
Oh, do they lose their terrain in this one too?
Yeah, the attacker chooses which player uses territory A, which uses B, which is along edge. With the player then alternate deployment. Oh, no, I guess you still have your terrain in this.
Okay.
Just not the other one. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is like the relic one that we liked a lot in the past. The loser, the priority roll must make one relic site. Okay, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. This one actually is a little more interesting than that because it's not just it's because it's more of a because you roll for a piece of terrain, or maybe this is how it's always been. I don't know, but you roll for you pick a piece of terrain, and it doesn't have to be one that you're near.
Oh, and then you roll for it,
and then you roll for it. So, and because it's based on the battle round, like, do you go do you pick one of your opponents because it's most likely not going to be that when you roll, and then therefore it prevents it from being that one forever? because you can never roll for it again,
Mm-hmm.
or do you pick one of your own in
And risk
hopes
it.
that you get lucky?
Yeah.
And I don't know what you do on it. I mean, I guess just random at that point. But I think you normally would pick your opponents, but sometimes it's gonna suck the other way.
Yeah, I like this one a lot, actually, after reading that. You're right, yeah. So just to paraphrase it a little bit, you pick a terrain piece and you roll a dice, and if it's less than the number of the current battle rounds, the relic is hidden in that terrain. So on turn one, you just basically say no, it's not in that one, and then your opponent says it's not in that one either, guaranteed, right?
Is it
Equal
less
to
than,
or
not less than, or
less.
equal?
You're right. Yeah, I read
Okay.
less than the number, but it's equal to or less, not less than or equal to. So that threw me off.
Okay, well, no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. All right, interesting. And then if you control it, you get the relic. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like the relic. That one's always fun. Two more then?
Yeah, I think there's 5.
Yeah, the trap.
Yeah, and also this one gets wild with the deployment zone, and that's
Yeah.
just like a a things to come.
And then so the last guy won. Yeah, so the attacker, if you won the relic, and then you get an extra relic in this battle. That's cool. From the generic relic list.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because it's like and it's like the idea is like you're trying to go take it from your
Yeah,
opponent. Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah. I kind of
Ambusher's
like
allowed to set up faction terrain. Yeah, only the ambusher gets the faction terrain here now.
only the ambusher gets it. Interesting.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
like the attacker came into your territory and like with it, and then you ambush them.
Yes.
Oh, see, like I actually like this. Actually feels fun to play as like a 2-player thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I would actually be really interested to play this campaign.
I'm gonna at least once. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
My
I think.
problem is I didn't want to buy the book. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's fine. I get it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but like apparently, like the lore stuff in it is so fucking cool.
Oh, that's sweet. I
Yeah, I
still
heard it
might
was
get it.
like
I
one
don't
of the
know.
best
Maybe
lore
I'll go out and
books
get it.
they've maybe have ever done. Because it's like a wanderer's guide, and it has like all the information about the wildlife and stuff in Thondia.
That's that's fucking cool.
Yeah. So if you kill the hero with the relic, you can steal it. It looks like.
Yeah, that's how you win. I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
That's really cool. And then the last one's cut off the head. I'm guessing it's killing their general. And if you won the last
I
one, you
actually
may
can't
learn.
remember.
Yeah. So the attacker has the relic, and then stealing the relic is still in here.
Mhm.
You have
Yeah.
battle tactics. Yeah, defenders are allowed to set up a terrain feature. That's cool.
The defender is or is not
Is allowed.
is allowed. Okay.
Yeah. Battle tactic. Fortune favors the bold. You can complete this tactic if model chosen to be your generals within 3 inches of an enemy hero at the start of the combat phase. Okay.
Yeah.
And then better part of honor. You complete this battle tactic if the model chosen to be your general retreats this turn.
Yeah. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, and then you get a glorious victory if you kill your enemy's general.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it is just that. But you
Yeah.
get like whoever won the previous one like now has the relic, right? And
Yep.
then
Oh, that's overall like this is really cool.
yeah, it is.
I think there's like a sticker shock of like this is a terrible GT mission pack. But I think for the most part, you're not playing GPs, you're playing like with your friends
Oh,
at your
absolutely.
house.
Yeah.
And this is a
Yeah.
much, much better mission set for that.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great I feel like it's a great mission set for like it almost made me want to get the book.
Yeah.
Like it was like almost enough to like cuz I want to try it.
Mm-hmm.
But cuz like I think actually most of the missions are really cool. Except I don't like the first one, but that's okay. I'd play it.
I mean, that's like at least it's the first one, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like you play the game, you're like that sucked, but it's over. And
Yeah.
then instead of being like, oh yeah, fourth mission's gonna fucking blow.
Yeah. It's like they actually get pretty neat as you go.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this could be interesting, kind of fun with like
Hmm.
there's like the narrative element to it that
Yeah.
I like, and yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Overall, I think this is a really good step in the direction for the game, and like this is something that like I think Wrath of the Everchosen was like trying to be,
Mhm.
and like they just like perfected the formula a little bit here, and like we both
Yeah.
loved the missions in that book,
Yeah.
and
That was
like
actually a lot of fun. I
yeah,
did enjoy that. I think it helped that we had both the armies, so it like or we had each of the armies to play, so it was
yeah,
like narratively pretty cool too. I kind of
yeah,
hate it when they lock in the like the armies you're supposed to play for it,
yeah.
because then it's like because I mean you'll play it anyway with something else and it'll be fine, but like
Hmm. Yeah,
I
it's
don't know,
just like it was like
feels
armies
good.
that were like not only that we both happen to have, but they were like very near and dear to our hearts, like our two
Yeah, right.
favorites.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and like the story was so good. And I
Yep.
don't know anything
Mm.
about the story in this one yet, but I'm sure it's good because it's a Warhammer story and they've all been.
Yeah, they do a good job with that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a single one in like the past since I started playing at least that I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome, you know?
Yeah.
So like I'm so excited to hear about it and read it and look at it. Look at Doug's videos. Mr. Two Up Tough. Yeah.
Curious if
Ah,
it's gonna be like a story or if it's just like or if it's just like a general campaign setting type of deal, more so than a story.
I think they're gonna expound a little bit upon like what they established in Dominion, where like they talked about they wanted Excel, like the Cruel Boys wanted Excelsior gone, so they're poisoning the Earth in hopes that Thondia is just gonna shake Excelsior off the continent.
Oh, okay.
And I think they're gonna talk probably not a ton about that, but like go into a little bit more depths of like Cruel Boy lifestyle and machination rather than like actual plot points.
Hmm.
And like I think it would be cool to hear a lot more about how the Dawnbringer Crusades work. So I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be like not like a storyline necessarily, but like a fluff like supplement, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, like there's just like a lot of like little tidbits about how the world works type of thing.
Yeah,
Like
which
world building. More world building than like a
yeah.
story. Yeah.
We don't super have a ton of that in Age of Sigmar yet, too. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. Yeah. Overall, like I think this is a great book and like a good thing for GW to do. But like I get like why some people are not happy with it.
Well, yeah.
It's just
Books are
it's very
expensive.
different. Yeah, books are expensive. It's very different. And then
Yep.
like the fact that like this is an actual terrible tournament one.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like yep. My question was like how much use am I really gonna get out of this bad boy? I
exactly.
don't
Yeah.
know.
And this is one of those things like if you do it with somebody, like they might just have the book and then like you
Yeah,
don't
yeah, I'm
need
like
to,
totally gonna
right?
ask the guy I play with at work if he
Yeah.
just has the book and wants to run these missions because that'd be cool.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I want to own the books because I want like the collection, but
Yeah, of course.
I get it. If you're not a book guy,
I might get it. I
yeah,
might. I definitely wanted the Kronspine and the terrain. It's funny. I think
exactly. Yeah.
most people are like, "Oh God, why did they box that with the terrain?" And I'm like, "Oh God, why did they do that?" But I'm kind of happy about it.
You know what though? Like I would have been very happy about it if I didn't already have half of the terrain in it.
Yeah,
Like that was a huge ask. And
yeah.
like
Oh
I
yeah,
think I
that,
talked about this last time too, but like it really rubbed me the wrong way seeing that like there's like there's like the building and then the statue
yeah.
like that. There's the box set that was like two buildings and two statues for 100, and then like they sell them separately. Like the building by itself is 60 and the statue by itself is 60. So if you like twist it in that light, then this box set is an amazing deal. But if you put it in the
Right.
light of like you get four pieces for 100, then it's not necessarily right.
Well, it's
Oh
basic. It basically just comes down to do you want that terrain or not?
yeah,
For me, it was like, yes, I do. Thank you. I will
Yeah,
take it.
exactly.
But I feel like most people are going to be like, no, I didn't. Why are you
Hmm.
making me get this?
Yeah.
So,
How many 3D printed cron spines do you think you're gonna see, or like, oh, this is my conversion because I like the lore of this one better, and it's just
yeah.
like a
Oh
resin
my god.
model from Etsy. Yeah,
So many.
I mean,
So many.
and like I think that's mostly on them
Oh,
at
yeah,
this point.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Like, if it turns out to be good, you're going to see like a million of those things.
yeah.
Yeah.
They should have just let
Because
it
people
sag
are
out.
like, I don't want that, but I don't want that. Pay the money for that.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's totally on them for blocking it in a box with a bunch of terrain that
Yeah.
people may or may not care about at all.
Hmm.
Most likely not.
And like
And I'm
that.
saying all this actually caring about it because I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but like just because it worked out for you,
Yeah, doesn't
like
mean it
you
works out for
can't. Yeah,
everybody.
you can't be blind to
Absolutely
the
not.
fact that it's not for everybody. I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and like
exactly.
we're being
Yep.
honest here, how we feel. But like the way like that made me wanna like that got me to get it. So I was thinking about getting a Mega Gargan for like a long time.
Hmm.
And like the main motivation for me is like I don't love the model.
Yeah.
So I would
Yep.
have to do like a very heavy kit bash.
Hmm.
And then this thing comes out, which like I'm convinced is just better
Hmm.
than the Mega Gargan for what I wanted the army to do. It's cheaper.
Yep.
And as far as like army points wise, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And then
I understand.
it's 190 for the Mega Gargan, or it's 200 and or 190 rather, not 120, 190 for the Mega Gargant, or 220 for what will be the same thing as a Mega Gargant in 4 pieces of terrain.
It's true.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it
Yeah.
worked out very well for me too.
Yeah. So maybe that's what they're bargaining on, that it'll work out well enough for enough people that it'll sell. And then I can't imagine that they won't package it individually eventually as
They're
well.
gonna
Because
package it individually, I think. Yeah.
they have to, yeah.
How much do you think it's
It's
gonna be?
100?
I was gonna say 120, but yeah.
120 might be accurate, yeah.
Hmm.
That ballpark. I don't think much cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then like as far as like the pieces that come with it, it's still like a very reasonable, yeah, very good bargain for what you get
Yep.
compared to the prices they're going to sell this stuff at. But it's just some people aren't into the terrain,
Yeah.
and I
I
get it.
I have so much terrain but I was like, nah, I could have a little bit more. It'd be okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
Well, like terrain's your favorite thing too.
It really is. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I love it. So yeah.
Yeah. There's absolutely nothing to be ashamed about there.
Yeah.
And like I'll get every death thing, like every
Oh
undeath
yeah.
thing, like every giant skeletal monstrosity
Oh
made out
yeah.
of crystal core floating around, So like I totally get it.
Yep. It's all what you like, right?
Yeah.
And man, that waterfall thing is just fucking sweet.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm so glad they like unhooked that from being just a Lumineth thing.
Yeah, I'm a little sad that they did it. That they announced it the day I bought the Lumina thing to
Yep,
Kit
that
Bash.
sucks.
But like I have two now, and I remember if I showed you how it came out at the end, but it's very far
Oh,
away.
you did.
So I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
gonna get it
amazing.
on stream, but yeah, I'm
Absolutely
happy.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah. Did we want to build a list before we go?
if you want to.
Yeah, I'm not. I guess I'll show off a night hunt list that I would do with this, or actually I could do a soul blight too.
Yeah, why don't we? We're probably gonna do tons of
Night hunt coming
night
up.
hunt lists in the near future. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just gotta get to War Scroll Builder. Yeah, and you know what? I bet the Night Hunt one is not going to be up to date either on War Scroll Builder yet.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep. That's right, because it changed.
Yeah. All right, Death. So Blake Gravelords. Select lineage. I want to go bite Virkus because I want Belladonna.
Uh huh.
Death. That doesn't matter, but Pride Sorcery. I really like that one for Soul Blight. So this is gonna be a 1,600 point list because 400 of it is gonna be the Crown Spine.
Yep.
Um, Belladonna, she's gonna be the one that's bonded to the uh, incarnate.
Yep, that makes sense.
I'm gonna also add in now Coven Throne. That's gonna be the general, and I'm gonna give her the Pack Alpha, where she gets to do the command ability for free once per turn.
That's cool.
And she has the command ability on her scroll that gives a unit until your next hero phase +1 to hit, wound, and save.
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get a unit of Dire Wolves, reinforce it twice. Hit that with an Arcane or Mystic Shield, all out defense, and the Coven Throne thing. So they're gonna be on a 4-up save, ignoring Ren 2. 60 wounds. I'm gonna have the Kron Spire as another anvil. And then I'm just gonna have
Interesting. Yeah, he's just a hammer and anvil all in one. He
Yeah.
really is.
2 minimum zombies because they're pretty cheap for their points. And
Oh
then,
yeah.
Yeah, what else can I do? Alright, yeah, there we go. Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon. And for the battalions, I'm going to put it in the 1-drop one with the Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon sticking out the side.
Nice.
There we go.
Man, that was quick.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah, very good. Alright, next week I think we wanted to do an Anvil of Apotheosis hero, right?
Oh, yeah, right. Yep.
We were talking about that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yep.
But yeah, and I got most of the unit done. I just have to do the teeth. But I'm very happy with these. And then I got to do the bases, of course.
And then we're going to both be painting up the Kron Spine next week, right? Is the idea?
Yep, exactly.
Nice.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll talk to everybody next week.
Yeah.
We'll see you around.
See you guys.